Listen, I don't care if you're a Democrat. I don't care if you're a Republican. I don't care if you're an independent. I don't even care if you don't vote at all. Right now, we're watching the federal government grind to a halt, federal workers going without pay, and Americans getting hurt. All because politics has turned into a zero-sum game. And I had to say something that most people are too scared or too partisan to say out loud. The shutdown is the fault of the Republican Party, period. They're the ones refusing to negotiate in good faith and holding government funding hostage for political wins. And Donald Trump is in the center of it, pulling the strings and dictating terms from the sidelines. He's openly saying he will not meet with Democrats until the government reopens. So let's get something straight. He's asking Democrats to open the government first, with no concessions, and then the Republicans will maybe, possibly come to the table. That's not how this works. That's not negotiations. That's just extortion. Now let's be crystal clear here about something else. Donald Trump deserves full credit in pushing for the ceasefire in Gaza. It was his administration that applied pressure that helped make that happen. And I don't care about party affiliation. He deserves credit. It's a fragile ceasefire, sure. That's how the Middle East has always worked. But it doesn't diminish his accomplishment. You want to be credible in politics? Then give credit where it's earned, even if it's not politically convenient. And yes, Donald Trump deserves all the credit in the world for making that ceasefire happen. Now let's talk about Democrats, because they're not blameless either. If the Democratic Party caves during this shutdown, if the government reopens without getting any policy concessions, then that's saying loudly and clearly, there's no point in voting for Democrats in the midterms. They've proven they're ineffective. All this talk about Trump as a threat to democracy, completely abandoned in this shutdown, doesn't show they're willing to fight, and that they weren't believing what they were selling us in the first place. Let's be clear about what's happening here. Republicans are demanding Democrats vote yes on government funding, and are refusing to include an extension of the ACA tax credits that are keeping insurance premiums down for millions of Americans. So basically they're saying reopen the government and allow healthcare premiums to go up for millions of Americans and just continue on as business as usual. And you don't get to say that. That's not negotiation. That's not compromise. That's leverage theft. Asking one side to surrender a bargaining chip and get nothing in return. That's not how the government is supposed to work. And here's the kicker. Democrats are actually trying to do something noble here. They're trying to stop health insurance premiums from going up through the roof. If you lose the ACA subsidies and suddenly health insurance premiums double, don't come crying to me, because the Democrats are trying to stop that, even if they're completely ineffective in telling you. This didn't have to be this way. We've gotten locked into our political tribes, and we can't even hold two thoughts in our head at once. Yes, Donald Trump helped secure the ceasefire in Gaza. Yes, Trump encouraged a government shutdown. Yes, Democrats are trying to protect your healthcare access. And yes, Democrats might completely fold and prove they are useless. All these things can be true at once. And if you're too partisan, you can't call out both sides' failures. We're not thinking anymore. We're just rooting for our teams. And we're letting regular people pay the price. So don't ask me who's to blame. Look at who's refusing to negotiate. Look who's holding the government hostage. Look who's asking for your vote and getting nothing in return. And if Democrats cave, don't vote for them. Because if they fold, they already folded on you.